Hello, so today I'm going to make a volcano and we're going to have this volcano erupt. But since it is almost Earth Day, or it's right around that time, I'm going to try to make some out of like materials that I have around the house, materials I was probably going to throw away anyways, or some things in nature to make these volcanoes. I'm going to make a few and then tell you a few more ways that you can make them. So one volcano I'm going to make is going to be out of newspaper. So I'm going to do a little bit of paper mache with it. The first step is you just need some newspapers and then a flour and water kind of mixture that's pretty wet, and then we'll go from there. So I made a volcano out of newspaper, and of course all of them have a water bottle in the middle that I had around the house that I already used, so I'm just going to throw away or recycle. And then the other one is going to be made out of tin foil. But some other options that you may have around where you live would be making one outside out of dirt or leaves or anything like that. You can also, if you can get onto the beach, you could do one out of sand and do the experiment on the beach. That would be really cool. But I'd be interested to see what you guys have around the house that you guys could use to make a volcano. So you definitely have to show me. So another way that you can make a volcano is with tin foil. So some of this was actually ones that I had wrapped up like food with for leftovers, and then it wasn't super dirty, so I was like, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to use mostly tin foil. I might use a little bit of newspaper because I have a lot left over. And I'm going to show you how to make a volcano with this too. So I want to talk a little bit about volcanoes and what they are and why they have this crazy red stuff coming out of them that we love to make. So volcanoes, so the earth, let's start over. The earth is like a puzzle covered in like puzzle pieces, big puzzle pieces. And sometimes there's gaps in those puzzle pieces. And those gaps lead all the way down to the center of the earth or really far in where it's really, really hot. So volcanoes are those spots where there's a hole in the earth, and that hole can lead to magma and lava coming out of that hole, that really hot red stuff, and coming onto the land. Most of the time we think of volcanoes as the mountains that have that hole in the top, and that's how they erupt, but they can also be underneath in the ocean, really, really deep, and they can also be in things like ice caps. So they can actually be in really cold scenarios too, which we don't really think about. Also, not all volcanoes erupt, right? Sometimes you can go, especially in like places like Hawaii, sometimes there's volcanoes and they're not active. That means that there's lots of greenage on them and there's no magma, right? You can go and walk up the mountain sometimes and things like that. So they do erupt for different reasons. Sometimes it's just a pressure thing. So different pressures and densities take that magma and rise it up through the volcano to come out. And that's why we sometimes see the ash and the red magma and lava come out of them. So something that my first graders know is that volcanoes and magma that turns into lava. So whenever magma comes out, that red stuff comes out of the volcano and reaches kind of the Earth's surface, that's when it becomes lava. So anyway, so it's a fast land change. That just means that, so once it comes out and once it starts coming down and hitting land, it's going to change the land very quickly. So obviously that lava is very hot. We wouldn't be able to touch it. So as soon as it starts going down and hitting any sort of green, brown, whatever it is, it's going to change the land. There's no longer going to be green. It's going to destroy the trees and any sort of vegetation, plants that grow there. But it also, on a good note, leaves the ash, and sometimes the lava can leave really fertile soil or good soil for plants to grow in the future. All right, so after you've built your volcano, you're ready to make it erupt. So I'm going to use the tinfoil volcano that I made, and I'm going to need to erupt the other volcano, the nicer volcano that I made with a class. So the first thing that you need is baking soda. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use like a tablespoon. I'm also going to use a funnel. You don't have to use a funnel. I just ended up having one in my house. I think it's easier to get the powder inside. So I'm just going to fill up a tablespoon, put it in. Probably do 2 to 3 tablespoons of baking soda. Okay, so your next step after you put the baking soda in is you're going to need a cup, and I'm going to use a measuring cup as well. I'm going to measure out some vinegar. I'm going to use white vinegar. You can use whatever kind of vinegar you have, and we're going to put it into the cup. Then I'm going to put some food coloring in there. If you'd like, I'm going to use a reddish color, and I might add some bubbles or just some dish soap in there too to make it a little fizzy. Okay, so once your baking soda is inside your volcano and you have your vinegar mixture ready to go, you're ready to pour it in. So I'm going to go ahead and use the funnel again, pour it in, then we'll see what happens. That is how you make a mess.